don't miss out on new videos. Click the bell. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up for more.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about the top 6 American fairy tales. So let's go. Sleeping Beauty. The first fairy tale is Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is a very popular story. Essentially, the story is that there's this beautiful girl who is asleep for a very long time, and she can only be awakened by a kiss from a prince or by her true love or something. I'm not sure about the qualifications for the person who kisses her to wake her up, but that's what it is. In a sentence, I didn't watch the movie Sleeping Beauty very much when I was a kid. That is true. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White is the story of another princess, and she lives in the woods with 7 dwarfs. Dwarfs are small people. I don't know, depending on the story, they have powers sometimes, or like different, I don't know, attributes. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs was the first ever full-color Disney movie. It's true, look it up. Jack and the Beanstalk. The next fairy tale is Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk is a classic story. Jack is a young boy who lives in a village, and he sells his family's cow for 3 magic beans. The magic beans he plants, and then a huge bean stalk grows, so a giant plant grows, and he climbs the plant up to the cloud region. He climbs the plant up, and he finds this land where giants live, and then he steals from the giants and tries to take it back down to his home. In a sentence, Jack and the Beanstalk was adapted into a movie called Into the Woods a few years ago. Also true. Cinderella. The next story is Cinderella. Cinderella is another classic, a classic story from Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm had but the very dark version of Cinderella. The story of Cinderella is one of 3 sisters, I believe, and she's made to do all of the cleaning in her household. She's kind of pushed to the side, but she has a chance one night to go to a ball, a formal dance, where she meets a prince, and he really likes her, but she has to get home before midnight because she's under a spell that gives her like a beautiful dress, only until midnight. But when she leaves his house, she loses her shoe, and somehow her shoe remains after the spell has finished. The prince searches the country looking for the woman whose foot fits the shoe. So that is the story of Cinderella. My good story about Cinderella. One of my shoes fell off when I was at a party recently, like last year, and the guy behind me saw it happen. I was walking upstairs and my shoe just fell off my foot. So he grabbed it and put it back on my foot, and every time he sees me now, he calls me Cinderella. That is true. Cinderella is a classic fairy tale. The Tortoise and the Hare. So the next story, or I guess not so much a fairy tale, but classic story, is The Tortoise and the Hare. So in this very simple story, there's a tortoise, a turtle, a kind of turtle, and a hare, which is an old word for rabbit, turtle and rabbit. And they're competing in a race. In The Tortoise and the Hare story, the hare runs ahead, the rabbit runs ahead of the tortoise, so far ahead that he thinks he's already won the race, so he lays down to take a nap. And in that time period, the tortoise catches up and passes the rabbit and wins the race eventually. So it's a great reminder that you should not take for granted your successes. In a sentence, The Tortoise and the Hare is a great reminder about diligence. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. The story is that this beautiful woman goes to live in a magical castle. The master of the castle is a beast, and over time, she slowly makes him more friendly. She slowly makes him into a better person, and then at the end of the story, they become friends in a relationship, I guess. He moves out of like beast zone and then into friend zone and then into like boyfriend zone with her, I guess. Out of beast zone. Wow, that's a thing I said. Beast zone. I have always wanted the library that's in the Beauty and the Beast Disney movie. So that's the end of the top 6 American fairy tales. Maybe you have an interesting fairy tale in your country. Please leave us a comment and let us know more about it. Thanks very much for watching this episode. We'll see you again soon. Bye!